going to take a look at the 2015 Materials Technology Wood Higher Level Section A. The woodworking tool shown on the right hand side is called a mortise gauge. It has 2 pins at the top and 1 pin at the bottom. A marking gauge just has 1 pin. Give a use for this tool. So it can be used to mark out a mortise and tenon joint or a bridle joint where you need to draw 2 lines at the same time parallel to the edge of the wood. 3 safety rules that should be observed in the woodwork class. 1 is where you would need to wear safety goggles when drilling or using the lathe, tie up your long hair when using the pillar drill, unplug the jigsaw when changing the blade. That's 3 examples. 3 types of glue that can be used to stick wood together. Impact adhesive is 1, PVA glue, the white glue that we normally use in the classroom, number 2, and epoxy resin would be number 3. In question 4, A is the bark of the log or the tree, B is the light coloured sapwood, and C is the darker coloured heartwood. The trees that are associated with the leaves and seeds here, the first one is sycamore, the second one is birch, and the third one is the leaf and the seed from the oak tree. The diagram on the right hand side, A is the seed, B is the radicle. The radicle will form the roots of the tree, it grows downwards, and C is called a sapling, which is a young tree. The woodworking tool on the right hand side is called a nail punch. It's used for driving nails just slightly below the surface. Nails are panel pins. That then little gap that's left would be filled up with wood filler to cover over the head of the panel pin or the head of the nail. 3 types of conversion are through and through conversion, quarter sawn timber, or tangential or tangent sawn wood. Question 9 shows a wooden bowl which has been affected by fungus, and that is called spalted timber. A very common one is spalted beech. So the fungus leaves a black mark in the wood, and it's called spalting. The pliers on the right hand side are called long nose pliers, and they can be used for cutting wires or panel pins, or also holding small parts like nuts or bolts, items like that. Question 11, the craft to create a picture out of veneers of different coloured veneers of wood is called marquetry, and glues that can be used to stick the marquetry onto the base wood could be PVA glue or Scotch glue. 3 different ways of applying a preservative. It could be brushed onto the wood, it could be put on using a roller, or it could be put on using a spraying gun. In question 13, you're asked to name 5 different types of manufactured board. One example is plywood, chipboard, medium density fiberboard, or MDF for short, lamin board and block board. The 3 items associated with wood turning in question 14, the first one is a live centre, the second one is an outside calipers which is used to measure diameter, and the third one is a face guard to protect your face from flying debris when you're wood turning. Question 15, they want you to sketch the complete marking out of a mortise and tenon joint. So at this end here, the X's represent the mortise, which will be chopped out using a mortise chisel, and at the left hand side here, the tenon will remain. The 2 sides will be taken off, sawn away, and the middle will remain, and that middle part will be the tenon that will go into the mortise. EMC stands for equilibrium moisture content. The diagram in question 17 shows a person drilling, and the type of force that is applied to a screw when you're drilling is a torsion force or torque force. So it's a twisting force. Name one other type of force. So the example that I've given here is tension. So that's a stretching force or a pulling force, like the blade of the coping saw. So the blade of the coping saw is under tension. You're given a list of metals, and some of them are ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous are rusting metals that rust, and non-ferrous are metals that do not rust. Aluminium doesn't rust, tin doesn't rust, lead doesn't rust, silver doesn't rust. Mild steel does rust. Question 19, the name of that machine there is called a mortise machine or a mortiser. 2 specific safety precautions that should be observed. So it's very important that the piece is secured firmly in the machine when you're chopping out the mortises. There's other example there would be to roll up your sleeves to remove any jewellery that you might have, necklaces and so on. And another precaution, other ones, examples are to tie back long hair, keep your hands away from the cutting edge. So that's 4 or 5 different precautions. In question 20, you have a table that is missing measurements. So the sides here, which is that left hand side and the right hand side, it's 1,000 long and it's 70 wide. The reason we know 70 is because all of the pieces are 70 by 40. The cross rails are 700. So it's 800 from left to right. These cross rails here, it tells you that this is 20 deep. So if this is 70 wide here and this is 20 deep, that means this is 50. This small wee bit here is 50 and 50. So you take, if you add the two 50s, you get 100. Take it away from 800. That's where the 700 comes from there. The middle upright is this one here. So it's 300 from there to there, plus 20 at the top to go into the join into that piece, plus 20 at the bottom. That's where the 340 comes out of. The feet are 350 long. There's 350 there. And dowels, these are the dowel rods here. So there are 4 of them. That completes that exam paper.